Denver, Ezekiel Elliott and the Dallas Cowboys offense disappeared in Denver. Elliott, who led the NFL in rushing last season, had just 8 rushing yards on 9 carries in the Cowboys' 42-17 loss to the Broncos Sunday afternoon at Sports Authority Field at Mile High. Until midway through the third quarter, Elliott didn't have a single yard. The Cowboys won easily in Week 1, when they were rarely challenged by the floundering New York Giants. But this was an embarrassing offensive performance against a veteran defense. This creates a lot of work, but frankly, we knew we had a lot of work coming into this, owner Jerry Jones said. Dallas' loaded offensive line should have presented an edge against a Denver front still dealing with injuries and depth issues. Yet Elliott found little room to run early in the game. As the Broncos built a 21-7 lead by late in the second quarter, the Cowboys were forced out of the comfort zone of their ball control offense. Instead, Prescott was left to throw a career-high 50 times. He was sacked twice by Denver linebacker Von Miller and threw 2 interceptions, which were rare missteps for a quarterback who threw just 4 picks as a rookie. "I simply didn't make enough plays," Prescott said. "There's no excuse for it." The Cowboys cut the Broncos' lead to 35-17 in the fourth quarter, but cornerback Aqib Talib sealed Denver's win with a 103-yard interception return for a touchdown in the final minute of the game. "They played better than us, clear as night and day," Cowboys wide receiver Des Bryant said. Dallas now stands at 1-1 and will need to spend the next week figuring out how to better utilize Elliott, if the running back is indeed allowed to play. The NFL has filed an appeal to the Fifth Circuit Court for a stay of an injunction issued by a district court judge that has put Elliott's 6-game suspension on hold. Elliott was initially punished for a violation of the personal conduct policy after an allegation of domestic violence last year. The Cowboys also face questions about their defense after allowing the Broncos to rack up 380 yards, including 246 in the first half. Simeon threw for 231 yards and 4 touchdowns, including 2 to receiver Emmanuel Sanders, along with the 1 interception. Running back C.J. Anderson had 118 rushing yards and a touchdown. Cowboys defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence had 2 sacks to bring his season total to 4, but the Cowboys could not consistently generate a pass rush against the Broncos' offensive line, leaving Simeon with plenty of time to allow Sanders and receiver Demaryius Thomas to get open. The Cowboys lost 2 cornerbacks in the game, with Chidobe Awuzie injuring his hamstring and Nolan Carroll suffering a concussion, leaving Dallas extremely thin in the secondary with starter Orlando Scandrick already out with a broken hand. "I don't think this is a picture of what our team is like at all," Jones said. The Broncos moved to 2-0 to stay tied atop the AFC West with the Kansas City Chiefs and Oakland Raiders. Denver's biggest question moving into Week 3 is on the offensive line after rookie left tackle Garrett Bowles appeared to suffer a serious left leg injury in the second half. Bowles, the Broncos' first-round pick, had to be driven off the field on a cart. Photos, Best of NFL Week 2.